He was the muscle-bound paradox who stole every scene he was in without saying a word. A man so intimidating, Hollywood did not know what to do with him. A stuntman turned villain, a surfer turned warrior, and a mystery that still lingers today. You might know him as the menacing Fender Tremolo in Cyborg, but there is so much more to this New Zealand-born surfer turned actor. From nearly dying on Hollywood set to vanishing from the spotlight, his journey is stranger than fiction. Strap in, because what you're about to hear changes everything. This is the untold story of Vincent Klyn. Long before he was cracking skulls on screen, Vincent Klyn was just a kid from New Zealand with a love for two things: surfing and danger. Born in New Zealand in 1960, Vincent moved to Hawaii at age of 4, and by 10, he was already surfing circles around the locals. But Vincent wasn't just good, he was world-class. By 13, he had joined the pro circuit, and in the mid-80s, he was ranked among the top 5 surfers globally on the worldwide surf tour. The kid had endorsements pouring in, living the dream under Hawaiian sun. But the ocean isn't always kind. One day, while training for competition, Vincent wiped out on 20-foot wave, a real beast. He got dragged under, his board leash tangled around his ankle, and for a terrifying 30 seconds, he thought this was the end. "I saw my life flash before me," he later told a friend, "and all I could think of was I didn't even get to finish my shave ice." He clawed his way back to the surface, gasping, laughing, and vowing to never let the ocean win. That near-death moment, it shaped him, gave him the fearless edge that would later define his villainous roles. But how did a surfer kid end up in Hollywood? It's 1988, and Vincent is still riding waves, unaware that his life is about to change. Enter Albert Pyun, a director known for gritty action flicks. Pyun is on the beach in Hawaii, scouting for his next project, a little sci-fi action film called Cyborg. Pyun did not want an actor, he wanted a force of nature. He spots Vincent treading waves, his chiseled physique and intense glare cutting through the spray. "I saw this guy and thought, that is my villain. He looked like he could chew nails and spit fire." But Vincent? He wasn't looking for a role. He didn't even know who Pyun was. Pyun tracked him down at a local surf shop, where Vincent was haggling over a new board. "Hey kid, ever thought about acting?" Pyun asked. Vincent laughed, thinking it was a prank. "Acting? I can barely act interested in my buddy's fishing stories." But Pyun was persistent, handing him a script of Cyborg and saying, "You are Fender Tremolo. Be on set in 2 weeks." Vincent, ever the risk-taker, thought, why not? Sounds like a laugh. Little did he know, this role would make him a cult icon and lead to some of the wildest moments of his career. Cyborg hit theater in 1989. The Vincent's debut as Fender Tremolo, the sadistic villain opposite Jean-Claude Van Damme, was electric, but the set? Pure chaos. During a fight scene in the muddy wasteland, Vincent was supposed to tackle Van Damme into a pit. They rehearsed a dozen times, but on the final take, Vincent slipped on the slick mud, taking Van Damme down with him in a spectacular tumble. The crew burst out laughing as the two stars flailed in the muck. Vincent's fake knife flying in the air and landing, thankfully, blade down in the dirt. "Guess I'm too slippery for you, Jean-Claude," Vincent quipped, covered head to toe in grime. Van Damme replied, "Well, let's do it again, but you are clearing my boots." But the funny drama came during the late-night shoot. Vincent, still new to acting, decided to get into character by wandering the set in full Fender gear, leather jacket, wild hair, and a menacing snarl. Problem was, he wandered too far and stumbled into a nearby diner, where a group of locals thought he was a real thug. One guy stood up, ready to fight, yelling, "We don't want your kind here." Vincent, realizing his mistake, dropped the act and burst out laughing. "Relax, man, I'm just a surfer playing dress up." He ended up buying the diner crew a round of beers, turning a tense moment into a party. That's Vincent, always finding the fun in the chaos. In one scene, Klyn was supposed to leap onto a moving truck. No safety wires, no second takes, and then disaster. The truck swerved. Klyn missed his mark. He hit the pavement hard. Crew members thought he was dead. But Vincent? He stood up, bleeding, and growled, "Hey, let's do it again." Even Van Damme said, "That guy, he is not human." Klyn's character barely spoke because Pune realized his silence was scarier than any script. So what did Vincent do? He invented his own language, grunts, growls, even clicking his teeth like a wild animal. However, his actual voice did not go too well with the test audience, and so it had to be later dubbed by a different voice actor, Branscombe Richmond. Klyn's natural, higher-pitched voice caused test audience to laugh during screenings, so the decision was made to deepen his voice to better suit the medicine villain role. This is a classic case of post-production meddling to fit audience expectations. Hollywood, right? Always chasing that perfect image, even if it means altering reality a bit. But here is the twist. Klyn hated it. He argued his physical performance was enough, that silence was scarier. And in the end, Pune kept some of Klyn's original grunts. Fast forward to 1991, and Vincent lands a role in the cult classic Point Break as Warchild. But getting the role was not easy. Vincent almost missed it out because he showed up to the audition straight from a surf session, dripping wet, sand in his hair, and smelling like a fish and salt water. The casting director took one look and said, "You're a mess." Vincent replied, "Yeah, but I'm your mess." On set, Vincent brought his own flair. Warchild's late introduction was a deliberate choice by director Kathleen Bigelow to intensify suspense, keeping Warchild a mysterious figure in Johnny Utah's undercover journey. Behind the scenes, Keanu Reeves reportedly felt genuinely intimidated by Klyn's approach during rehearsal, adding ethnicity to the moment. During the FBI raid, Warchild is arrested after a physical altercation with Utah. This scuffle wasn't fully scripted. Klyn improvised some of the movements, attacking Reeves, which director kept in the cut. By the way, Vincent Mohawk was his natural hairstyle during filming, not a wig. This choice helped setting him apart from the more polished crew. And a little of speculation. Warchild's brief appearance and lack of heist involvement led to fan theories that Klyn was originally slated for a larger role, possibly as a fifth ex-president, but it was cut due to pacing or budget constraints. The film's tight four-man heist structure suggests last-minute edits, and Klyn's arrest hints at a planned deeper tie to the crew that did not materialize. Through the 1990s and 2000s, Vincent became a familiar face on Baywatch, popping up in multiple episodes as various beachgoers and troublemakers. But one episode stood out. While filming a rescue scene, Vincent, ever the prankster, decided to help David Hasselhoff by pretending to drown for real. He flailed dramatically, yelling, "Shark! Shark!" the half dove in, only to realize Vincent was grinning ear to ear. "Gotcha, Hasselhoff," he shouted, swimming away as the crew cracked up. Hasselhoff later got revenge by sneaking a bucket of ice water over Vincent during a break, turning the set into a full water fight. Off-screen, Vincent's surfing roots kept him grounded, a rare fact. He once saved a kid from a riptide while filming a Baywatch episode in Hawaii. Between takes, he spotted the child struggling, grabbed his board and pedaled out, pulling the kid to safety. The crew cheered, but Vincent shrugged it off, saying, "Just another day in the water." That's the kind of guy he is, heroic, humble, and always ready for a laugh. After Cyborg, Hollywood wanted more of Klyn's raw intensity, but he kept missing the roles that could have made him a superstar. Rumor has it, Klyn was considered for the T-1000, but why didn't it happen? Some say he was too intimidating. Others claim he walked out when they asked him to tone it down. Either way, Robert Patrick got the role. And Klyn? He took on Nemesis, a movie so insane it makes The Matrix look like a bedtime story. So where is Vincent Klyn today? What happened to the man who could have been the next Schwarzenegger? The truth is, he walked away. After his last credited role in the early 2000s, he's largely stepped out of the spotlight. Some say he's back in Hawaii, surfing the waves that made him a legend, living a quiet life away from Hollywood's chaos. Others whisper he's working on a secret project, Cyborg Nemesis, The Dark Rift, where he's rumored to come back as Fender Tremolo. One thing is for sure, Vincent's legacy lives on in his cult classics, from Cyborg to Point Break. Vincent Klyn didn't just play a villain, he became one, a real-life warrior who left Hollywood on his own terms. And if you listen closely, you can still hear his battle cry echoing through action cinema history. In a rare interview, he said, "I never wanted fame, I just wanted to feel alive." And that, my friends, is the most Vincent Klyn ending possible. Until the next time, keep chasing the waves. See you soon.